Hello researchers, how are you? I hope you are fine and doing well. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the installation of Linux Mint KDE version 17.3 on Oracle VirtualBox. Now before we begin with the installation on VirtualBox, let us first of all understand what is exactly Linux Mint. Now in my previous video, I've already demonstrated regarding step-by-step installation of Linux Mint Cinnamon version, and I've already promised you that in the coming videos I will be doing the installation of KDE, Mate and XFCE. So in this video I'm going to demonstrate the KDE. So let us start regarding some Linux Mint. Linux Mint is basically a community-driven Linux distribution based on Debian and Ubuntu that strives to be a modern, elegant and comfortable operating system which is both powerful and easy to use. Linux Mint provides out-of-the-box multimedia support by including some proprietary software and comes bundled with a variety of free and open source applications. The main motto behind the Linux Mint release of its developers is the freedom came from elegance. The project was conceived by Clement and is being actively developed by the Linux Mint team and community members. So if you want to download Linux Mint, as I've already told you in my previous video, that is linuxmint.com. It is the official website, and recently, believe me, that some hackers have even put some you can say spyware based edition, and it was having a huge bad name of Linux Mint. So now it is okay, and now it is working very fine. So click on this download. And now you can find that we have Cinnamon, no codec, Cinnamon OEE, OEM, that is Mate, no codecs, Mate OEM. So you can find this is KDE, and an edition which is featuring the KDE Desktop. So now we can see that there are two basic types of desktops in Linux. One is called GNOME, that is called GNU Network Object Model Environment, and KDE, that is called K Desktop Environment. So Linux Mint KDE is specially based for Linux KDE, that is K Desktop Environment. So there are both two editions available, that is 32-bit and 64-bit. So in this edition, I'm going to demonstrate the installation of 64-bit. So I recommend that it is better to take the 64-bit as compared to 32-bit. So if you can see on my desktop, I have already downloaded Linux Mint, that is 17.3 KDE 64-bit version. So if I right click over here, click on properties, so it is about a 1.62 GB of the version of ISO. So let us start the installation part without wasting any time. So I have already opened the Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. So I just click on new. So type the name, that is Linux Mint KDE 17.3. You can type any name, so you can take anything, or version should be selected as other Linux, that is 64-bit. So type will be Linux. So click next. So I allocate 2 GB of RAM, that is 2048. So click next. So create a new virtual hard disk, click create. So VJ will be the default hard disk file type, so it will be okay. So click next. So dynamically allocated storage, so click next, and just give it about 15 GB. So I recommend 15 GB, but if you want to work more, you can allocate 25 GB or 30 GB depending on your requirement. So in this video, I'm just going to demonstrate the installation part. So 15 GB will be okay. So click create. So now before I power on this machine, let me tell you that the version of ISO which I have downloaded, it is basically the live version. So first of all, we will be opening up the live version, and from that option we will be installing the Linux Mint KDE Desktop. Similarly, like we have installed Linux Mint KDE Cinnamon in the previous video. So let us click on start. So let us browse this, and now let us go to desktop. Linux Mint 17.3 KDE 64-bit ISO is being selected. So click on open, click start. So let me close this. Let us click on view and full screen mode. So now you can see that the main motto is written, from freedom came elegance. So you can see over here, welcome to Linux Mint 17.3 KDE 64-bit. So you can have these 5 options, that is start Linux Mint, start in compatibility mode, integrity check, mem test, or boot from local drive. So as we are the first beginner of this Linux, so you have to select the first option, that is called start Linux Mint. So press enter. And again, I am telling you that it is first of all booting into the live version, and from that live version we will be having the option on the desktop, that is the KDE Desktop, that is installed from hard drive. We will be doing that installation in a couple of seconds. So now you can see that it has started, and it is giving a very good, you can say, blue marks over here. Similarly, like we have Ubuntu. So it's having a very good resolution. You can see it has booted the hard drive. And a very good wallpaper, settings, internet, desktop. So let us wait for its complete boot. So it's a very light distribution. So good. So now you can see that the desktop has booted. So it is called a KDE Desktop. If I click over here, you can find all these options. So you can work on as such like we work on the installed version, but this is just a live version. So if you have just want to have the experience of Linux Mint KDE before installation, you can have everything experience over there. So it is also contain the Synaptic Package Manager, so which means all types of Ubuntu tools can be there. So let us start the installation. So you can see there is an option, install Linux Mint, install this system permanently to your hard drive. So what we have to do is to double click this. So now it has started opening. So I can say that it is having a MacBook like experience. So please choose a language, that is English. It is default. So click on continue. So it is saying that for best results, please make sure that it is having 10 GB available hard disk drive. It is plugged to power source and is connected to the internet. So I have done all these things. As we know that I have already given 15 GB of hard disk drive. So 10 GB is default. So if you want to work more, you can allocate 25 GB, 30 GB, or even 50 GB depending on your hard disk drive. So let's click next. So you can see where do you want to Linux install Mint, that is guided, use entire disk. So I want to dedicate my whole entire disk to Linux Mint, so I can just keep the guided version, that is, or you can even use LVM, you can even use encrypted LVM, or even you can use the manual. So if you are an experienced user, you can click on manual. Otherwise, guided use entire disk will give you the same good options. So click on install now and click on continue so that the partitioning can be done. So now you can see it is partitioning and it is providing ext4 file system. So now as I'm living in India, it is selected the time zone India. So no need to, you can say, change it. So let us click on continue. So it has already started copying the files. So keyboard layout English and variant as English. So it is okay. Click on continue. So I have to give the name of the user. So let me give my name, Anand Nair, and let me take my name as the password. So it is okay. Your computer name will be Anand VirtualBox. If you want to, you can say change it. You can change it right now. And there are two options, that is require my password to login or login automatically. So I require a password to login for a better security. So click on continue. And now you can see that it has started installing and it has already copied 26% of the files. So it is not a very heavy version. So let us see the installation and let's enjoy it. So Linux Mint is a very lightweight, you can say a very fluffy based Linux distribution, and it will not take much time. It will be just taking about 5 to 7 minutes max. And if you're having a good configuration, I'm having Core i7 and 8 GB of RAM at my PC. So if you're having Core i7 again or 16 GB of RAM, might be it can take 1 or 2 minutes less, but 5 to 6 minutes is just a genuine time. So it is good for us. So in just a matter of 5 to 6 minutes, it has already completed 50%. So again, you can see that installed softwares, which is Firefox, Flash, and Java. Now, as you can see that it is having out of the box multimedia content. So Java, Flash, and Firefox are just the basic things. So it is running fast. So listen to music and CDs. It includes Amarlock and audio codecs. So I can say that this is a Linux which is very good, which is very easy, and it gives a fluffy experience, and the most important, that is called fully loaded, with almost everything for a newbie user and for even the beginners or even the no voice users. So it will not take much time now. So you can insert the watch and DVDs, that is with the caffeine, VLC and video codecs. And my dear friends, believe me that Linux today is doing almost everything which we work on Windows. So as an expert, I can recommend that use Linux much as compared to Windows. So you can see almost finished copying files. So very lightweight. And steps are also very easy. So even you can say a kid which is just having some good hands-on experience on computers, it can even install Linux without any, you can say, fussy steps, etc. for that. And a very good resolution also. So manage your photos with Digicam, fully loaded. So it is almost completion. So it says stay connected with Kmail, telepathy and conversation. And now it is configuring the system locals, apt, and I don't require this, so I can just remove this. So these are all the language files. You can just click on this, so it will take them some time to respond, but otherwise if you want to install it, it is good. So till it installs, let me pause the video for some time. So now you can see that it is installing the language packs. So again, run Windows software using Wine and VirtualBox. So fully loaded Linux. So I can say that it is supporting everything. So we have to wait. So now you can see that it is configuring the hardware, and we are almost done with the installation part. So even it installs, you can see click over here, you can find everything, that is mrlog, Firefox web browser, favorites under console, that is a terminal, conversation, KDE, software manager, system settings, applications. So for the graphics we are having, that is Digicam, K snapshot. So lots and lots of things are there. So multimedia, under my computer we have this recently, and you can leave, etc. So you can say that Linux is such a thing, Linux Mint is such a thing that it is having everything which you want. So if I click on this files, on this file manager, let's see what is having. So it is having the Dolphin based interface for the, you can say, file manager. So public folder is there. So nothing right now because actually it's a live version. So when we just complete the installation, we can find more. So under settings, what we have, that is system settings. Let's see the system settings. So complete control panel. So you can say that same experience which we have in Windows, it is having same on Linux. And if I go with the utilities, same utilities like Kilopatra, Kcalc, Kit, Clipper, Knotes. So with my computer everything is there. So you can see that it is now installing grub, updating the grub. removing extra packages, so almost 80%. So everything comes to end with initram fs tools, which I have already shown you in my different videos of Ubuntu, Debian, OpenSUSE. So everything is there. So almost you can say that it is the carbon copy based installation of each and every Linux distribution. So what's this? I can say that it is having the volume, it is most recent device, it is saying the battery and the Ethernet. So notifications and message editor is also there. So very cool desktop, not very cluttered, very much managed also. So good search also. You can even log out with this save screen. So now you can see that installation has finished and you can continue testing Linux Mint now, but you have to restart the computer. So what I recommend is to restart now. So let's restart. And you can see that system is going on reboot. So till it reboots, let us pause the video for some. So now you can see that it has rebooted. And let us click on view in full screen. So now you can see the logo of KDE Desktop. And it will not take much time to reboot because it is very light on resources. So screen has come. So a very beautiful login screen which sees my login name and my full name. So let me give the login as my name and my password. So a full screen, you can say 1366 into 768 resolution of my laptop it has detected, and good boot, very fast, everything which is there. So you can see that it has installed and same options are coming which we have seen in the live version. So it's a welcome screen. So if you don't want to see in the future, you can just checkbox it and click on close. So same screen which we have for application, utilities, computers, leave, power down, etc. So in this video, I have demonstrated how to install KDE Desktop of Linux Mint version 17.3. Do give it a shot. It's a very beautiful Linux. You will love work on this. So I hope you like this video. So do give this a like, do watch this video and do share with your friends. Thank you so much.